Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a single 8.5 by 11 layout. I'm going to have two photos on it, 3 by 4, and they're of my niece, Monique. I'll tell you a little bit more about the photos when I get into the layout. I did pull out the sequins bookish and zesty, I think is what those yellow ones are called. I actually end up changing to a different mix of sequins just because the colors are going to change a little bit of how I created the layout. What I was showing you there on the globe is the sticker came with epoxy on it. These stickers aren't that old. They're probably maybe under 2 years old. And it's already yellow, the epoxy. So I'm not going to put that on my layout. So I pulled it off the top. These stickers are like 3D. So they do have foam tape in between them. And I was able to pull it off, and I'll be able to use the sticker without using the epoxy top. And you can still see what it says, which it says beautiful. This is a beautiful life. So there I was showing you the cut file that I plan on using for this layout. I'm going to bring it back in here in just a minute. I put a page protector over the top of it just to kind of show you how I will have to cut it down to fit an 8.5 by 11. If I would have cut this on my own machine, I would have sized it differently so that it would have fit my smaller scale layout. But this the cut file came pre-cut to me from a kit club long ago. So I've just had it sitting around in my stash. So I'm glad to finally get it on a layout. I'm going to show you the scraps here that I have left over from the family double page layout that I created last week, I believe. And that was of my niece and her family. So it's going to go in the same album. So I want it to kind of complement the other layout, but it definitely doesn't look like the other layout. And I just have lots of scraps, mainly little 2-inch or 1-inch or 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch strips. Eventually, I'll probably do a layout just with the strips of paper that I have left. I usually have quite a few strips left since I cut the 12 by 12 down to 8.5 by 11. So here you can see I still have some of the larger pieces. I have this cute little 3 by 3 cut apart, but that doesn't make it onto the layout today. This wood grain is actually from Close to My Heart, along with the tan paper that had like a grid design on the background. This one here is going to be my background, but I'm going to use this side, the white side. And the alphas I chose are these gold script ones, which I love, and those are the ones I end up using. These ones here, initially when I pulled them out, I thought they were black, but they're actually navy. They could have worked on this layout. I just chose not to use them. I chose to just go with the script ones. And not sure why there's so much time in between here, but I'll get started here in just a minute. There we go. So there you can see the cut file. I cut it apart. I did have to speed up the video quite a bit, but you're not missing anything. I painted the cut file black, obviously. It was white before. It's still white on the back. I'm just peeling off double-sided tape because I was going to use liquid glue all over it. Decided it had fat enough lines to use the double-sided tape, but the flowers were too skinny to pop up and do like shakers behind them. So instead, I'm going to do something a little bit different with sequins, more when we get the photos down and where I want them to be at. So here I liked this larger piece at the top, and the triangles kind of remind me of mountains. So I thought they kind of went with the photos since they are up in the mountains. And this little triangle here, I'm going to place down at the bottom, and that just brings your eye down to the bottom, gives you a little bit more black at the bottom of the layout. I'm going to put that to the side and mat the photos. One of the photos is actually going to get 4 mats. The other photo is only going to get 2. And again, this was just using up scraps and basically making it look good. And I wanted one photo to be a little bit more highlighted than the other, but I didn't want them to overpower each other. So I still wanted them to work together. So that's why they're kind of similar, but different. So the one that's going to get the blue mat is the one that's a close-up of the back of her hoodie or her sweatshirt. Her sweatshirt she created, and it says Tired Moms Club on the back of it. She has 2 kids, and she works full time, so she knows all about being just a busy mom. And she creates sweatshirts and t-shirts and sells them in a small business. And I'll leave her link down below for any shirts if you would like to pick up any from her. She has some really cute ones coming out for fall. And so there I have my photos matted. That little wood veneer piece there is from the sticker sheet. It came in with the same stickers, and it says wild and free. I thought that was kind of perfect for the photos. She's standing on her Tahoe, which her husband took the photo. They're such a cute couple. I took their wedding photos, so I'm a little partial. But I'm going to put the flowers over here behind the photo, kind of sort of like this. I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit lower than it is right now. But I was just kind of playing around, seeing where I could put things at. This flower here, I'm going to put over here on the side and just have it kind of coming in, because my title is going to go down at the bottom. And my title is actually very long, but that's what we were supposed to create today for Scraptember, is a long title. That was our prompt. So I went with it. Up at the top, the little mountain that I put, a little mountain scene, I guess, the little sticker. Up at the top, it says take the scenic route. And then here, like I said, I'm going to put the flower back down right here and glue it in place. And then I will put wild and free on top of the flower here in a moment once I put the photo back up there. And then, like I said, I put the other little flower at the bottom. And I tried to use any of the flowers that you could tell they were actual flowers. I wanted to put one more down at the other bottom by the triangle, but I didn't really have any more that were left that looked like flowers. So it's okay. In the end, it comes out fine. On video, whatever looks like it pops enough off of the photo. In real life, it's definitely blends in too much because there's already so much black on the layout. So that's where I decided I was going to change a different direction with the color blue. And I'm also going to change the sequence at this point. But first, I'm going to try to color whatever. So originally I tried with Distress Oxide. It didn't dry. It was on it, but it really wasn't. And then I tried Shimmer's Paints, which again, since this is on top of foam, if I would have did clear gesso, clear gesso on top of it first, then it would have probably worked. But in the end, what I'm going to do is I paint this like 3 times, I think. And I think I left all of the video in with it. I was letting it dry, so here I'm putting the scripty font down at the bottom. And unfortunately, again, my lights are kind of shining it out. But hopefully you guys can see it. And you will be able to see it in the close-ups and when I hold it up. But it says living my best life down at the bottom. So the whatever is going to be the main title, but it's going to say whatever, Tired Moms Club, and then living my best life, because she really does enjoy being a mom. That is definitely her number one goal, is being a mom. So here I thought, well, maybe it's enough that it's okay, but I don't like it. So trying to decide how I'm going to color it again. And I decided to pull out some old Heidi Swap paint. That still comes in a tube. I don't remember when I got this, but I believe I got it from Tuesday Morning, which had to be at least probably 2 years ago. But it's just paint based, so it's not dried out or anything like that. Since it's in the tube, it's still very usable. So that's what I'm going to use to color it instead. And actually, I really like the texture and how it turns out. I'm not really painting like flat painting it. I'm kind of stippling it on, so then it makes like a texture on top of the whatever. And as you can see, I kind of started doing it faster, even though it is sped up. But even in real life, I started doing it faster because I like the way that it looked. I'm going to go over it quite a few times. Here I'm doing the white gesso, or the clear gesso actually, but it dries. It kind of mixed in with the shimmers and the distress oxide that was already in the background. So I went ahead and just did that once again, tried it again, but it really, it looks more blue in real life than it does right now. Again, my light's kind of washing it out. And um, so I did the clear gesso twice, and I'm going to let it dry. And then I will come in with the Heidi Swap paint and paint over the top of it. So, like I said, it was trial and error. I went ahead and left this in so you guys can see that, it's not usually easy to paint anything that's foam based. But the clear gesso was definitely the key to making it work. So if you want to paint foam, definitely use clear gesso over the top. So here now I'm using the Heidi Swap paint, and I didn't want to waste it or you put too much out, so I just did a little bit at a time. And like I said, I'm kind of making it look thicker in places than other places, but it definitely has a texture to it. In the end, you'll see that when I show the close-ups of it. So I'm just taking the paintbrush and going around on it and touching it in different places. Put it to the side, let it dry, and I believe I will glue down my photos because I'm not sure, they might be attached. Yes, they're attached. So here I'm gonna bring the whatever back. It's dry. I have the Living Your Best Life down. I don't believe it's glued down just yet. And I want to make sure I get the pound on there. And then, unfortunately, it is going to cut out before I get all the sequins put down. But it takes a long time to put all the sequins down. So you'll just have to enjoy the close-ups of the sequins. But what I did is I put like a puddle of liquid glue. And then I put sequins all on top of the liquid glue and let it dry. And I really like the way that it turned out. It made it kind of like a shaker pocket, but obviously it's not moving. And the Wild and Free is right in the middle of the flower. I'm going to attach my little mountain up at the top that says take the scenic route. And then down at the bottom, I will put the globe on. I might not do it on camera. I might do it. It might only be in the close-ups, but I know it's in the close-ups. And I just put it down at the bottom in the bottom triangle. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my layout and you saw another way to use sequins. I love the sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps, if you can't tell by now. I think I've used them almost on every layout. I'm really trying to get my stash down a little bit, so that's why I'm using so many of them. But I really love the way that they turn out, and they add a little bit of sparkle and shine to all my layouts. So here's a few close-ups, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe, and use my code Jennifer15 and save 15% on sequins. Bye!